Hey Youtubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything. Channel likes try anything, so you don't have to. Today's video is based upon a request that we've received a little while ago to compare two digital watches that we have featured on the channel. Now the two digital watches that we featured on the channel are the Casio W218H that I've got on the left in black and the Casio F-108H that I've got featured here on the right in blue. Now you're probably wondering, why am I comparing two watches that do on this screen here look a little bit different to each other? Well, the reason being is that they do share the same inner workings as each other, and the inner workings is known as the module, or the digital module as it were, and the module number is 3224. So they share a whole host of features with each other, including the backlight, which I must admit on these watches it's not a bad thing, because the backlight is great for reading the time in the dark. So as I've mentioned, for ease of understanding, the black one is the W218H and the blue one is the F-108WH. So in this video, what we're going to do, we're going to highlight the differences between the two watches, and they are similarly priced, so that's why this video is probably a bit more relevant than probably thinking, well, they are, you know, they do look a bit different to each other. But what we're going to do is going to highlight the differences. We're going to talk about which one would I personally choose out of the both of them, and which one maybe you should consider as your next watch to wear on your wrist. Right, let's start with the size. Now, there's not much difference in the size of these two Casios, with both the Casio W218H and the F-108WH roughly being 43mm wide, 45mm lug to lug or top to bottom, with an 11mm case thickness. Now there is a slight weight difference between the two, with the W218H being 38 grams and the F108WH being 32 grams. It's hardly noticeable on the wrist. Now, examining the design of both of them closely, you'll notice some very subtle distinctions between the two. The F108H boasts a matte outer casing with the main LCD display frame curving to the edge where the metal pushers are. It also features extrusions on either side of the watch next to the pushers. In contrast, the W218H has more of an angular design and is reminiscent of some of the G-Shock square models like the Casio W5600 range. It also incorporates some spherical elements on each corner and extrusions to the left and right sides. The pusher positioning mirrors that of the F108WH, and as they have the same module number, you can understand why. While the straps may seem similar at first glance, closer inspection reveals the nuances between the two of them. Both have the same ribbing, but the W218H sports a slight curvature with cross-hatching, while the F108WH is straighter and more simpler. They both have the same resin thickness and quality and don't feel cheap in any way. Both the Casio W218H and the F108WH share identical internal digital specifications. They both offer a single daily alarm with hourly signal, a stopwatch that can count an elapsed time with split time up to 60 minutes, and a consistent method for adjusting both the date, time and the alarms. The major difference, aside from the price, lies in their water resistance. The F108WH, coloured in blue, is only splash resistant, so personally I wouldn't advise wearing it near water, i.e. washing the car, swimming, having a bath or shower, etc., but that's up to you. On the other hand, for a little bit more money, the W218H offers a more versatile and robust 50 meters of water resistance, which makes this watch a better choice if you don't want to worry about getting it wet, which allows it to be worn more carefree in a lot more situations. As we have hinted at money, there is a slight difference in cost between the two, and I've looked on both the Casio website and the ARGOS website. The difference between the two is £5, with the Casio W218H being the pricier watch and the F108WH being the slightly cheaper Casio. That £5 mainly gets you a better water resistance and a bit more peace of mind, allowing the Casio W218H to be a more versatile daily wearable that you don't have to worry about as much. On the wrist, wearing both Casios on the same left-hand 6.5-inch wrist in the same position, to me the Casio F-108WH feels a little bit more comfortable to wear than the other watch that we have featured here. I also prefer the way that the end of the strap doesn't poke out as much as the W218H does, which is a bit of a bugbear for me, but overall both wear really well and don't inhibit hand movement much and feel nice and light to wear on a daily basis. So which one out of the two would I personally wear? Me personally, I would go for the W218H. It's got better water resistance, so it's more versatile. You can wear it in more situations without worrying about how the watch, without worrying about any form of water ingress or anything like that. And for me personally, it is more of what people would consider as a daily beater watch, where if it gets beaten up, it's not too much of an issue. I mean, these watches, they are affordable digital watches. Not as comfortable from the off as the F-108WH, but you do get used to it. I mean, you get used to it within a couple of hours of wearing it, and you forget you're wearing it, if anything. And as I say, because it's more versatile, then that is the watch for me. And at £5 extra, you do get a lot more in terms of that water resistance. Now, which one would you choose? Now, that just depends on your criteria when you are looking for a watch between these two. Now, if water resistance isn't an issue for you, and you take your watches off, sometimes like I do, when you go in the shower, go swimming and stuff, you don't wear a watch, then I'd probably consider the F-108WH. It's a comfortable watch to wear from the off. It's got exactly the same digital innards as the W218H, so you've got the same alarms, stopwatch, same way in which it displays the date and time, and also you've got that backlight which is exactly the same as the other watch, and it is a little bit more cheaper depending on where you go. So if, as I say, comparing it on the ARGOS website, it is about £5 cheaper. Ultimately, whichever one you choose, they are Casios, which means you've got the advantage of it having 7 years battery life, quartz accuracy, durability, and above all, they are fantastic watches to wear and to own and to have in a collection. So don't let either of them put you off. They are Casio watches, and that means they are brilliant watches to own. If you like this video, then please click on the like button, always helps the channel. If you want to leave any comments or any questions you want to ask, then please leave them in the comment section below. I'll try and get back to you as and when I can. If you want to see more videos from the We Try Anything channel, then please click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.